Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Draft to Win. This is going to be another small episode where I just take like one game and look at some concepts and try to bring value to you. If you've clicked on this video, most likely you're interested in the competitive side of Magic drafting, and I want to create a series just drafting to win that helps players just like you. And so one of the things that I looked at for this video is Aggro and Zendikar Rising. There's a couple concepts I want to share, and then we jump to the gameplay and just kind of keep these concepts in mind. They might seem obvious, but it becomes non-obvious and more complex once you're in the game, and making the correct decision isn't always obvious. So with that being said, let's go through the content here. So the first thing is identifying what your build-arounds are for an aggro deck. If you grab a couple cards in the beginning, identify that I'm playing around these cards, and you don't want to fully just prioritize like only cards to support your build arounds, but you want to create an intelligent deck that is varied in its curve, it's aggressive enough, it helps the cards that you're building around and identifying which ones those are. I hope that makes sense. So in this run, you're going to see the build arounds were Goma Fata Vanguard, which is an excellent card. It's kind of deceptively good. It's a 2/2 creature that says whenever 4/2, by the way, whenever Goma Fata Vanguard attacks, target creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the number of warriors you control can't block this turn. The other one for this run, which is not going to be the purpose of this video, but I just wanted to say that it was present in this run, is Nimble Trap Finder, a really good aggressive card because it says it's a 2-mana for 2/1. Nimble Trap Finder can't be blocked if you had another cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard enter the battlefield under your control this turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, creatures you control gain whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card until end of turn. What makes this card so good is almost all the cards that are good in this set fall into that category of the cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard. So you're getting a lot of early game damage. If you could play this card on turn 2, you get a lot of free hits in. And if you just so happen to have a full party, you get the extra benefit, but it's not worth building an entire deck and choosing suboptimal cards so you can get a party so you can activate the second part of Nimble Trap Finder. That's not worth it, but the first part is almost like an automatic. It just happens quite often. Like, not in the game we're about to watch, but in the run overall, it happened quite a bit. So we're going to focus on Goma Fata Vanguard and how that card can be good. Playing on curve. This sounds so obvious, but just choose the right cards if you're drafting aggressive in Zendikar Rising. Get damage each turn. Prioritize the most amount of damage each turn, and then when the opponent's low, you've got to find a way to sneak in more damage and be evasive. Think ahead, prioritize damage. Think ahead is the real important part of this, is that people think being an aggro player is easy. No, you have to think about what you're doing this turn and what you're doing next turn. Use your removal intelligently. Especially with Zendikar Rising, there's not a whole lot of removal in this set. So once you've got it, you've got to be really selective with what you use. Okay, we're going to move up here and get into the gameplay. So we're going to just watch this game from start to finish and say some of the concepts that we saw. Is this the right game? No. Shit. All right. This is the right game. So we'll start off. First thing to note is this is a keepable hand. Don't throw it away. You've got 2 mountains. Even though you can't activate your blue cards, you've got a 2-drop. You've got a follow-up removal card. You've got a 3-drop here. And you're statistically likely to draw another land if you're playing a normal amount of lands. Okay, play the mountain. We're thinking ahead. We're going to lay down our 2-drop, the Goma Fata Vanguard. Our opponent has not played anything yet. They can put down a 3-drop. So it's not like they have like a 2/1, 1-mana or 2-mana creature. So strictly right now, we have board control. Even though we only have a 2-drop on the field. And there we go. Our opponent doesn't play optimally. They put a 2-drop on turn 3. It is a 2/2. So I know here that instead of doing something cute and playing like the Merfolk Wind Robber and the Scavenge Blade, it's actually going to get me more damage if I play a warrior and attack and I get the 2 damage in because he can't block. It's a subtle concept. If you miss stuff like that, you lose out on games in aggro. Okay, what am I thinking here? This is an important turn because I want to get the most amount of damage in. I only have one form of removal. What is the best target to use the removal on? Or, is using removal even good here? The correct choice, which is what I end up going with here, perhaps counterintuitively, is using Thundering Rebuke on the 2/2 creature. And then attacking in. Because Expedition Champion win the fight. And then Goma Fata Vanguard can push through without being blocked. So just by that little move, I was able to get in 6 damage. Opponent uses their turn to use Sorcery Speed removal. And that gives me a head. You love when opponent passes the turn and doesn't do something super impactful. And that's what you saw here. So they use their turn, swing it back to me, and I'm going to continue to aggress. Luckily, by building the deck with party synergy in mind, I was able to put a 4-mana 5/4 haste. And the opponent cannot block warriors, which makes Goma Vanguard a really key pick for building warrior synergy around just a simple 2-drop. Opponent's trying to develop, but at this point it's too late. Okay, and there you have it. I hope that this video has been helpful. If this was too simple or too complex, let me know in the comments below because I can ramp it up in complexity. I felt that this was a fairly straightforward lesson, but it still could provide value to some people and you'll find it interesting. And if you need it to be easier, I can do that too. It's no problem at all. I can discuss the basics of the game. There's new players happening all the time, players who've never, played card games before, but are interested in learning how to win, especially with Magic drafting, which is very, very difficult. So this run ended up, I think I went 4-3, so it was just a very average run. I felt like I should have done better, but ran into some difficulties. So I probably won't upload the entire thing. But let me know if you like this kind of content. If you like the shorter episodes, please like and subscribe to the channel, like the videos, watch more of them, and interact. That's the main thing I'm looking for here. All right. Good luck. Thank you very much. See you next time.